All right. I'm going to do a speed mix on some vocals on a new A Light Within song. I've already mixed this before. This is what ended up on the record, but just wanted to go through the process, see if anybody can pick up some tips, and show you the transformation of just one raw vocal track into a layered approach and mixed in.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you.
So just getting some of that mud out of that. This is the main vocal line. Do some compression next.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you.
So now a little de-esser next.
You love the flame, though it burns you.
I love this de-esser because you can see when it's hitting multiple different ways, but I like this visualizer right here. Very important step for me, distortion.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame.
I just love that tone. So you can use any distortion you want right here, really. I've used a bunch of different ones. Sansam's a good one as well. This one's just really easy to use and sounds the way I want it to. All right, so that's the very first vocal track. Just one layer.
You love the flame.
Now, obviously, you can barely hear it because it's all one layer. So we're going to bring in the next layer, see what happens. Just the vocal.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love.
So I'm getting rid of the same muddiness I did on the other track, rolling it off at this near the same spot on the low end. But I'm boosting a little bit of 3K on this particular track. This one's actually the main vocal. I use a main distorted vocal and a main non-distorted vocal, and I like to stack those. They're two different performances, but they're stacked. Once again, some compression.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame.
Oh, on this one, I'm smashing all the buttons in.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame.
I normally don't do that. I must have just been experimenting, and that's where I ended up liking it. Once again, another de-esser, probably the exact same settings. On this one, looks like I threw VMR on there, and I have this complex strip. This is just a preset. Once again, I was probably just experimenting. I've been doing a lot of experimenting with different methods lately, but this one's compressing and then adding some warmth, basically. So let's hear the difference between that.
You love the flame, though it burns you. 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 You love the flame, though it burns you.
So as you can see, as I added more and took things away, just how full of a vocal we are now just with 2 layers. That extra layer makes a big difference. And then I also heard a big difference when I added this strip in there as well. It plays tricks on you, and it seems like there's another voice in there, even though there isn't.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame.
All right, so just with our 2 tracks, these are both routing up into an all Vox bus, and from there, I throw VMR back on it again. I'm doing some EQ finalizations, I guess, so to speak. Usually boosting the mids and higher ends with this plugin, and then some final compression.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame.
So that really makes it a lot more hot. So when you're adjusting these settings, you really want the mix in there as well. So I'm going to bring the mix in just on this little part and see how good we can get this.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame.
So as you can see on its own,
you love the flame, though it burns you.
You didn't really need it on its own, but when the music's in there, I really need this in there. Another layer in, and this is a lower octave double.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you.
All right, so I'm just cutting low and high end off. Another de-esser, and then adding one of my favorite plugins, but I'm not really utilizing it that much. I'm just using a compressor on it.
You love the flame, though it burns you.
And I don't like the way that sounds on its own, but in the mix, I like the way it sounds. So I'm doing kind of the similar approach with a higher backing. It's probably falsetto or head voice.
You love the flame. You love the flame. You love the flame.
Yeah, so it just creeps in there. I'm using this free ozone imager. I love this plugin. And it's just moving wider in the stereo spectrum.
You love the flame. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you.
So doing a little EQ and compression on those as well.
You love the flame, though it burns you.
Now what we would want to do is bring the music in and see where our vocal sits. Alright, so there's this backing whispery thing here. Let's listen to it. Yeah, pretty weird. So I'm just doing like I said, I use all kinds of different plugins that do the same thing. Just some EQ here. The CLA again, compression, a little tight reverb, and then a really wide spreader. And then after that, I'm throwing it into repeater, which is a delay that I really like. In a ping pong. So let's hear what that sounds like on its own after those are added. It's got like a like a Maynard style thing from what song was that? 46 and 2 maybe, or no, Anima. So with those all right, so the vocals coming through, not popping maybe all the way it should yet. And in that case, we'll throw a parallel compressor on it. So this entire, everything is feeding into this all Vox bus in this session. And then from here, we're going to send it out to the all Vox to another bus with a compressor on it. In this case, I'm doing this. So let's hear it before and after that's added. You love the flame, though it burns you. 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 Alright, so it's pretty full now with that parallel compressor. It's popping through pretty good. And we don't even have many effects on there yet. So now we can run. And you can either do this from the all Vox bus if you want to, or you can put these sends on each individual track that you want to be sent to these effects. I didn't really... in some songs, I've thrown these on the all Vox bus, but that's if you want effects on every single layer of vocals you have. In this case, it was too much doing that, so I'm just sending my main 2 vocal tracks to the effects. And that's going to have some reverb, this delay, once again that repeater, and then a long throw. So let's go through those one by one. The flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. So that's just adding some reverb. I'll add some delay next. You love the flame, though it burns you. 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 You love the flame. All right, so that's all done. And then I have a delay, a long throw on there. Let's hear what that sounds like down here. Forever. And sometimes you might need to get in and just do some automation of your volume levels. So right here on that word, it's a little bit too hot in the mix for me, so I just manually brought it down, just that one word. So yeah, if you get any words that just are way too hot or they stick out a little bit too much, Oops. Then just notch it down with your volume automation. Let's see. Metatune is on here, so it's totally up to you whether you like the sound of pitch correction or not. I typically hate the sound of it if it sounds like a robot, so you just got to be very subtle with it, in my opinion. So here's the difference between. So far we've listened to no pitch correction at all, but here it is turning it on.
You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you. You love the flame, though it burns you.
So it just makes it a little tighter. Like I said, if you want a more of a raw sound, don't even put one on there. Well, if it's sang good enough. But anyway, that's a little speed mix. Hope you learned something. Peace.